Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. So today I want to talk to you about something that is, in my opinion, the missing piece for a lot of people when it comes to changing their life, changing their reality. And it's all about being a disciplined person, but not necessarily in the way you might be thinking. The culturally accepted definition of discipline is like getting up at 5 a.m., making your bed, hustling and grinding through the day. But that is not discipline. That is the result of a disciplined mind for sure. But there's a quote by a guy called Eliud Kipchoge, who's widely considered the greatest marathon runner of all time. He said, "Only the disciplined ones in life are free. If you are undisciplined, you are a slave to your moods and your passions." And I really want you to think about this. Freedom is the ultimate goal. That's what everyone wants. Behind time, behind money, behind all the achievements is freedom to live a life on your terms. And the discipline of having a mind, we'll say, a state that is unaffected by external circumstances is the greatest discipline you can practice. And here's what I mean by that. The average person allows the external world to tell them who they are. They'll get a tweet or they'll get a text and it's not something they like, and now they are angry. And they will say, "This happened to me. I allowed the world to tell me who I was." If you live life that way, you are not free. You are at the mercy of the world outside of you. And this can work in all areas of life. So you get a bill, and now you're stressed. You get cut off in traffic, now you're angry. It happens to everyone. And the wild thing is, we don't even question it. We just assume that's how life works. If something happens, we react, and that's just being human, right? But what Kipchoge is pointing to, what Jocko Willink is pointing to, when he said discipline equals freedom, is if we're letting the external events control our internal state, we're not free. We're at the mercy of whatever's happening around us. So real discipline is not about forcing ourselves to do things we don't want to do. It's about mastering the state so that we get to decide how we show up, regardless of what's happening around us. So if things are all falling apart, we can remain calm. We can remain grounded. We can remain present. And this is where the power comes from. That is freedom. That is what I call unshakable. So here's the practice. This is what I'd be working on myself. Go through the day and just notice when something tries to pull you out of your desired state. It could be the news. It could be a person. It could be anything. When you feel that pull, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this who I want to be? And then consciously choose the state you desire to occupy. When you can do this, you become one of the 0.1% who are truly free from external circumstances, because now, no matter what's going on around you, you get to decide what's happening within you. This is truly, I believe, the missing piece, because in the spiritual manifestation space, discipline is almost shunned because people are looking for quick fixes and hacks. But this is the greatest prize you can develop, being unshakable within. So hopefully that has landed with some people today. And I trust that if you practice this, you will find that the greatest freedom there is the freedom to remain who you choose to be, regardless of what's going on around you. When you can master that, you have mastered yourself. And when you master yourself, then you master your life. So with that said, my friends, have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow.